Good day, adventurers. Today we are going to learn about what makes you, me, and humans in general who they are. And we're going to dive deep into our cells to learn more about it. We're going to look up deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA for short. Every cell in your body has DNA, and that tells the body how to make you how you are. It says your hair is going to be this color, or you're going to be this tall or this short. It's all based on your DNA. So with that, I've got two projects for you. The first one is we're going to build a model of the DNA. For this project, you are going to need 2 pipe cleaners or 2 straws, tape, scissors, construction paper of 4 types of colors. If you do not have construction paper, you can just use regular plain paper and just get some markers and a pen or pencil or something else to write. Alright, first thing you're going to want to do is create about, let's start off with 4 to 5 rectangles of each color. What you can do is just find something straight to act as a ruler. Unless you already have a ruler, then that works too. It doesn't really matter how big, you just want them all to be the exact same shape and size. So I'm just going to draw a line. And draw another line. There's my first one. So to keep them all uniform, what I'm going to do is the first one I make, I am going to use that as a template for the rest of them. So there we go. I've got one. I'm going to place it down. And then do that for each color. Until I have 4 to 5. With all the colors cut out, we are now going to pick 2 of the colors. I'm going to take blue, yellow, you can do whatever 2 you want. And we're going to bring the tops to a point. You can either draw it out, or what I find easier is just going ahead and cutting it. So we get a point. Doesn't have to be exact. So we're going to cut all those, and then the other colors we're going to match up. Oops. And then just cut it out. So it'll end up looking like the tip of a snake's tongue. And these will match for later on. Alright, now that I've got them cut out into 2 with points and 2 that look like snake tongues, the next thing you're going to do is pick a color. I'm going to go ahead with orange, and I'm going to write adenine on all the oranges. I'm going to pick the next color is going to be guanine. Then the next color will be cytosine. And if you're having problems seeing the words, don't worry, I'll put them on the screen. And then the last one will be thymine. And then you'll write them all down on their exact colors. So all of the oranges should be adenine, or whatever color you have chosen. All of the words have been written on little pieces of paper. And what these represent are nucleotide bases. It's what makes up the DNA. They come in pairs. Adenine will pair with thymine. Guanine pairs with cytosine. And when you go up the DNA strand, that is how they should pair. When we put the model together, it does not matter what order you put them in, as long as you pair up them correctly. Guanine, cytosine, adenine, thymine. Alright, for the next part, you are going to need your pipe cleaners and your tape. You're going to take some of the tape. I'm going to start with guanine. I do apologize if I'm not saying it right. So, guanine, you're just going to measure up a little bit. You can go with a finger, half a finger. It just needs to be away from the bottom. And then tape it on it. And then the matching pair, cytosine. You're going to do the same thing. Tape it to the other side. Don't have to be perfect with it. And if you don't have tape, you can use glue stick. For that, what you're going to want to do is put some glue on it and then just wrap around and pinch it down. Hold it for about 10 seconds or so and then slowly remove it. It should stick. And then you're going to repeat that with other colors. I'm going to type on like adenine, thymine, and just do that up and down. Now, when you're doing this, you don't have to stay on the same size as the colors currently are. I could go, okay, I'm going to do cytosine, guanine, guanine, cytosine, and then just change it up if you want. Like I said, the only thing that matters is that you do need to pair them up with the same matching set. Once you do have them matched up, you just want to take one more piece of tape, put it underneath, and if you wanted to make it look really nice, have the pointy end underneath, and then there you go. And then you'll just do that with tape it up for the rest of them. Alright, and here is a finished example of one that I've made. I am now going to twist the ends slightly together. Then give it a little twist. You can bend it and twist it how you want, but a DNA usually curls. And there we go. I have a model of a DNA strand. Well, what do you think? Do you like your model? Is there any improvements that you think can be made? Or any suggestions we could do for a better model? How about you write those down in your journal, and we'll get on to the next experiment. Alright, adventurers, we're back with the second experiment, and instead of making a model, we're going to do something a little more complex. We're actually going to take DNA out of strawberries. So for this experiment, what you are going to need is cold rubbing alcohol. Before you start, you want to go ahead and grab some rubbing alcohol, put it inside the freezer for about 15-30 minutes before you start your project. Dish soap, coffee filter, 2 cups, plastic, disposable, works good. That way when you're done, less cleanup, just throw away. Salt, strawberries with a quart ziplock bag, measuring cup, measuring spoons, and either a coffee stirrer or a toothpick will work. Alright, my rubbing alcohol is now cooled down, so we're going to go ahead and start the project. First thing you want to do, get your strawberries. You are going to need to take off the stem and the leaves. Just peel them off, take your thumbnail. These are a little ripe, so they're pretty squishy, but you are going to definitely want to get it off. Once you have the stems and the leaves removed, you're going to put them inside the quart bag. If you have a gallon bag, that works too, but slightly smaller is better. So I'm going to put them in. Going to seal them off. Push on it a little to get rid of all the air. And then close it off. And then you're going to start smushing them. And smashing them. You want to get them into a fine pulp. And if you need to, you can always put it down on the table and just smash it. Now you don't want to hit too hard because the air to push it through, but you do want to smash it because you want to get all of the strawberries almost into a jelly. No, you can't use jam because that's processed and gets cooked, and what we're needing it for would destroy, the cooking process destroys DNA. So you'll do this for about 2 minutes. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. Mine is all smashed up. We're going to go ahead and put that off to the side because now we're going to make our DNA extraction solution. First up, you'll need one of the cups. Next, you're going to put in 2 teaspoons of detergent. 1, 2. Then 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. And then we are going to add half a cup of regular water. If you have a spoon, go ahead and mix it up. If you do not have a spoon, you can just twirl it. This will take a little bit longer, but whatever you do, don't slosh it. It creates too many bubbles, and then we'll have to wait. So I'm going to use a spoon and gently stir. Okay, with it completely mixed, we are now going to add 2 teaspoons of the solution to our strawberry mix. This will help break down the cells and release some of that DNA. Now I'm using a tablespoon, and it takes 3 teaspoons to make a tablespoon. So I'm just going to remove a little, not fill it all the way up, put it in, and you know what, adding a little bit more is not going to hurt. But you can always try out different amounts, and inside your journal, write out what happens. Okay, so we're going to put this in, and then back to the smashing.
From the camera, it looks like...
So you're going to do this for about 1 more minute.
It looks like tomato sauce.
I bet it doesn't taste like tomato sauce at all, but... And that's another thing that gets brought up. Does it have to be just strawberries? No, you can try it with any other fruits, vegetables. Just some are really hard to remove the DNA, but strawberries are pretty easy. Alright, it is now finished mixing. So the next thing you're going to do is get your other cup, your coffee filter. I kind of have small ones, so I'm going to use a funnel to help with it, because I've already tried this once and it collapsed inside. So you're going to take your slurry of mix and pour it in. Now the next part is probably going to take a little while. You are going to wait for it to strain through. The filter paper. And so it's probably going to take about 5-10 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes on my end, and we've had a couple complications. It's taken a while, so I decided to speed things up. If you have a strainer, a thin wire mesh strainer, like this, just go ahead and dump your slurry into it and gently push it down, and that'll help speed things up. If you don't have one, just take your little coffee filter, and I do suggest using the bigger coffee filter because that's where my problem came from. It was just too small. And just fold it in top and gently give it a squeeze till the juice comes out. And you'll get something like this. Now, mine's got a little bit of the big pulp in it because my coffee filter was too small. So your results may differ from mine. Now, you're going to want to get rid of the foam. So take the spoon you were using and just slowly scoop it out. All right, I've got most of it out. Now, the next step is you're going to want to put in your rubbing alcohol, cold rubbing alcohol. So I wouldn't get this out of the freezer until it is time to use. You are going to fill up with your rubbing alcohol and an amount equal to this. And what you are going to be looking for is little white strands. There it is. Here. You might have to give it like a little twirl to get the rubbing alcohol to mix in with the slurry. But as you can see on the buildup, there is some DNA. The white thread-like stuff is the DNA all unraveling. So, what you want to do next is you're going to take your toothpick, gently put it in, and pull out your own strand of DNA. So, if you have your journal, write down what it looks like to you, because I can say what it looks like to me, and it looks gross, but cool. Also, what you can do is put this inside your journal, put a little bit of tape over it, and you have your own specimen of DNA. It's just fun. And try it with different fruits and vegetables. Let me know what happens, and have a wonderful day.